In November 2020, with the help of fellow Hollywood star Mob McElhenney, Ryan Reynolds bought a Welsh football club and has subsequently changed the economic prosperity of Wrexham forever.
I wouldn't characterize myself as an entrepreneur. I would characterize myself as someone who has found a couple of different things in life that I believed in with every cell in my body, and this is one of them.
So how did this Hollywood star build his dynamic portfolio of businesses, develop a marketing prowess that could sell condoms to a father of 12, and ultimately use these superpowers to complement his investments? In order to understand how Ryan built his wealth and how his brands became an extension of himself, we need to first understand the origins of one of his newest ventures, the Wrexham takeover. While filming the opening season of Rob's Apple TV show Mythic Quest, British comedian Humphrey Kerr introduced his love of English football and Liverpool Football Club to McElhenney on set. During the COVID lockdowns, Humphrey recommended Rob watch the documentaries Sunderland Till I Die and All or Nothing. That's the key to this. He's a storyteller. He needs to understand the story of football. The All or Nothing documentaries are very good, but they don't cut to the heart of the game, which is the fans. Rob being Rob, he devoured every documentary. He's a doer, so he said, let's buy a football club.
So I made a little list of 8 clubs in the National League, a couple in League 2. I think there was one in the National League North at that stage. They were like, well, these feel like good, viable options. Made a little matrix, scored them out of 10 in 5 categories, and Wrexham came out on top.
What were the categories?
So there were things like fan base was one. You know, Wrexham really jumped out. They were getting 4,500 on average in the National League when they were kind of circling the drain in the 1920 season. You know, that was more than a lot of clubs in League 2 were getting. Obviously, the history was one. Geography was a big one. You know, we've got west of us, there's 750,000 people in northwest Wales. Huge number of them are Everton fans, Liverpool fans, City, United fans. They drive through Wrexham to go to those Premier League grounds. And we knew that, you know, they used to get 35,000 a week when they were Division 2, it was at the time, pre-Premier League, but, you know, effectively the Championship now. So, yeah, they just in these various different ways, Wrexham really said there's a, you know, is the definition of a sort of sleeping giant.
Humphrey then made contact with the Wrexham Supporters Trust, who were in need of investments after the pandemic and was open to ideas. Rob wanted to find a big-name sponsor, which ultimately led him reaching out to Ryan, who owned several brands. Rob had TV money, but needed someone with superhero money. Rob had never met Ryan at this point, but had become friends online after Reynolds sent a complimentary message about his favourite scene in It's Always Sunny. However, what was originally just talk in a pub and over FaceTime became a reality when Ryan told Rob that he didn't just want to sponsor Wrexham, he wanted to buy them with him. In November 2020, R.R. McReynolds LLC bought Wrexham for £2 million, following a poll amongst the club's 2,000 Supporters Trust members who voted overwhelmingly in favour of their new owners. But none of this would be possible without Ryan and his brands. And don't get me wrong, Rob's net worth is nothing to be sniffed at, but an estimated $350 million, Ryan's wallet dwarfs in comparison. But it's not just the money that Ryan brings to the table, it's his portfolio of brands. One of the most important being one he doesn't even own. I'm of course talking about Deadpool. Put simply, the first Deadpool movie made Ryan super rich, $22 million richer to be specific. And with this newfound capital, it would transform Ryan into a marketing and business genius. Speaking of being a marketing genius, thanks to Matchmasters, I've found my new favourite game. I've been travelling a lot recently, and it's been one of the only games that I've been playing to pass the time. It's a free-to-play game that has basically reinvented the Match 3 puzzle game. So I'm just going to quickly jump into a game here and use one of the diamond boosters. Okay, here we go. The thing I love about this game as well is that you can play 1v1 versus your family, friends, or even play against a worldwide opponent. Which, if you're English like me, you'll take great pleasure in destroying anything Spanish after the Euros. Luckily, I can use the in-game booster here like that. Look, my octopus is dishing out points left, right, and centre. It's super easy to understand. And the other thing that I've found since I've started playing this, as stupid as it may sound, I've actually got surprisingly quick. When I first started playing this, it would have been like watching a rusty hard drive booting up. But genuinely, my reactions and pattern recognition, it has me locked in, I can't lie. And boom, look at that. I got the win. So if you're like me and love these type of puzzle games, make sure to click the top link in the description or use my QR code on screen to download Matchmasters and get a special starter pack free to only my viewers. Well, that's me paid. Back to the video. After making his mark in acting since a kid and swanning around in the rom-com era of Hollywood in the early 2000s, Ryan made his first appearance as Wade Wilson in the god-awful X-Men Origins Wolverine movie in 2009. However, this adaptation of the character is completely different to the one we know of today. They literally sewed his mouth shut and shot lasers out of his eyes. In fact, after appearing in yet another superhero flop in the Green Lantern in 2011, Ryan would face an uphill battle to get a Deadpool solo film made. And you may be wondering why he was so keen on getting this film made. Well, the truth of the matter is that Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. Even before Ryan was linked to play the character, the comic books describe Wade Wilson as looking like Ryan Reynolds crossed with the Shar-Pei. However, in July 2014, Fox's test footage of a Deadpool movie leaked online, which was met with an overwhelmingly enthusiastic response by fans. So much so that by September of the same year, a Deadpool movie was given a release date of February 2016. When asked about who leaked the footage, Ryan stated, "I would have if I'd known it caused that. Honestly, we all thought Tim Miller, the director, had leaked it, but I've since investigated that enough." In quiet moments when he was beyond the point of being penalised by anybody, and he said that he really didn't do it. Someone recorded the footage on their iPhone and then released it. And then once that happened, somebody hacked into the Blur studios and got the original footage in high res and put it online. We all know what happens to the success of Deadpool after this moment, but from this point on, without even realising, Deadpool would become one of the main catalysts and an important pillar of Ryan's business empire. In 2018, Ryan founded Maximum Effort Productions and Maximum Effort Marketing, after becoming a shareholder in Aviation American Gin. This marketing company would be responsible for all the brands under Ryan's ownership. By 2020, British beverage company Diageo bought an array of brands, including Aviation American Gin, for an incredible $610 million. As a shareholder, Ryan reportedly made as much as $122 million from the deal. However, under the terms, it stated that Ryan will remain as the public face of the brand for 10 years and retain a stake in the company. And there's good reasoning for wanting Ryan and his marketing company behind the brand. In 2019, the year before Aviation Gin was sold, he was responsible for one of the most infamous adverts of recent years. For context, in December 2019, Peloton, the posh exercise equipment company, released an ad titled "The Gift That Gives Back."
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Now.
A Peloton? Give it up for our first time ride.
All right, first ride. I'm a little nervous, but excited. Let's do this. 5 days in a row. You surprised? I am.
6 a.m. Yay.
Rising with the sun.
That was totally worth it.
Let's go, Grace in Boston. 50 rides.
She just said my name. A year ago, I didn't realize how much this would change me. Thank you.
This immediately went viral, unfortunately not for the reasons Peloton had hoped for. Many viewed the ad as sexist, as it depicted a husband gifting his already fit wife a Peloton bike, implying that she needed to lose weight or change her appearance for him. So in their eyes, this ad reinforced outdated gender stereotypes about men controlling women's bodies. The whole thing was a giant mess, but while everyone was clowning on Peloton for their tone-deaf ad, Ryan was cooking up a genius plan and struck while the iron was hot. Just days later, his marketing company created an advert featuring the same actress as the one in the Peloton ad, drowning her sorrows in gin. This clip went viral, generating millions of views, and was only made possible because Ryan is deeply involved with the marketing.
You got the Peloton girl,
Yeah,
like, the next day to be in your ad.
yeah, within a few hours of her ad.
How did you pull this off, and why did you do this? And
Well, like, you know, I've been there in that position as an actor where you do something that doesn't quite work, and I really wish somebody from a gin company called me right after Green Lantern and was like, hey, like,
I got something funny you can do as an answer to that. So yeah, we got a hold of her. It was really difficult because nobody knew how to get a hold of her. Obviously, the people at Peloton didn't want us to get a hold of her, but we got a hold of her, and within 36 hours, we had shot, chopped, and put out this commercial.
It's this connection to the content that makes Ryan's marketing touch so special. Another example of this genius marketing that has made Ryan a certified baller can be seen from Mint Mobile, a mobile network operator he acquired 25% of in November 2019. He would once again become the face of the company.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds, owner of Mint Mobile. It's the holidays and the big wireless companies are busy spending billions on advertising. At Mint, we're not into wasting money, so we bought this spiffy stock footage for $500. Our footage also came with another hand, so we can let you know if you switch to Mint, you'll get 3 months free on all of our plans, even unlimited. Feels like that deserves an exclamation point.
In less than 30 seconds, he managed to relay the necessary information about the promotion Mint Mobile was running and reiterate the company's approach of not wasting resources. It's completely on brand, with Ryan's deadpan, fourth wall-breaking, sarcastic approach to comedy. And most importantly, it establishes Ryan as a quirky and relatable fellow, despite how wealthy he may be. However, some people actually find this approach to marketing to come across as false or forced. But then again, there's always going to be someone with a soggy biscuit at a party. But for people who like to keep their biscuit dry, this approach worked. You know, for once I feel intrigued by an ad. Definitely doesn't scream, I want your money so I can buy this is the best product ever made vibe. But this is more of a, this is something we have, want to try it out? Unlike most other celebrities who are willing to endorse anything that will quickly make them a chunk of change, Ryan takes his time selecting the products he puts his name behind.
Authentic connection with something. You don't want to I just don't want to be a guy who's just acquiring crap just to acquire crap. I have to have a really authentic connection with it. Otherwise, I think, you know, the audience, the people that, the consumers of whatever that product is, are going to know that I don't have that same sort of fluency with whatever the product is. So I have to have a connection with it. If I don't, there's no point.
This authenticity is key to everything Ryan does. In an interview, he revealed that he was a customer of Mint Mobile long before he invested in the company, stating, I have a lot of employees whose phone bills I pay, so I decided to try it out and actually wound up saving money. So the only reason Ryan invested in that company was because he used their service himself and liked it enough to see their potential for future growth. He believed in the product he was going to stand behind, and the same is true for all of his other investments. His involvement took Mint Mobile from barely a startup to one of the most well-known telephone service providers in the US, making it a serious competitor for the big boys. This led to the company getting acquired by T-Mobile in March 2023 for a staggering $1.35 billion, netting Ryan a cool $337 million for his 25% stake in the company. And the thing is, after making all this moolah, Ryan has been investing money left, right and centre, with just a few of his investments including an equity stake in Football TV, Canadian payments technology company Nuvi, and software company 1Password. On top of this, in June 2023, Rob and Ryan took another plunge into the sports world, acquiring 24% of the Formula 1 team Alpine F1, and also a percentage of Mexican football club Necaxa. However, it's truly Wrexham Football Club that has arguably felt the biggest impact from Ryan. You see, in the UK, the economic prosperity of a town or city is largely centred around the success of the local football club. Dropping out of the Premier League or Championship could be disastrous for local communities. So when a team like Wrexham aren't even in the Football League, it's not great. But from a footballing standpoint, since Ryan and Rob have taken over Wrexham, they've managed to take them to back-to-back promotions, now residing in League One, only 2 promotions away from the Premier League. In typical Ryan fashion, he found multiple ways of monetising the club, in ways other clubs of Wrexham's size wouldn't be able to do, such as the FX TV show Welcome to Wrexham, which documents Ryan and Rob's journey becoming owners of a club season by season, taking the team on a US pre-season season tour and making Wrexham a substantial tourist attraction as a result. As well as this, because of the vast wealth the club now have, they can afford the best players, which was more noticeable when they were in the National League and League Two, as players were dropping down divisions just to play for the club. The biggest example of this was when ex-Premier League and social media savvy goalkeeper Ben Foster signed for the club after Ryan slid into his DMs. In fact, it's some of these reasons that have led to a lot of fans of clubs in the Football League not actually liking Wrexham. But to be fair to Wrexham, they have suffered for a long time, and as a Brighton fan, I can relate to that. They shouldn't be hated on just for being quote unquote lucky. Ryan and Rob have truly put Wrexham on the international map. In August 2023, the chief executive of North Wales Tourism revealed that Ryan's involvement in North Wales region has increased its tourism industry by a whopping £1 billion. And this was during a time when the tourism industry in the rest of the UK was actually on the decline. Ryan and Rob have also done a number of more personal things for the team and community at large, like donating £10,000 after the tragic death of a player's baby, taking the women's team to new heights, and donating £6,000 to a disabled fan. For these contributions and many others, Ryan received the 2024 Philanthropy Award from Wales Community Foundation.
Hey there, on behalf of myself and of course everyone who helps make Wrexham A.F.C tick, I just want to thank the Community Foundation Wales for this incredible honor. Ultimately, giving me and giving Rob an award like this is of course incredibly flattering and wonderful, but it certainly pales in comparison to the work that this foundation does for so many of Wales' most vulnerable people. So deeply honored. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
In recent accounts, Wrexham lost £5 million in the year of their promotion from the National League, while the R.R. McReynolds company is owed just under £9 million, up £3.7 million from the year before. However, these Hollywood owners are completely aware of the financial fragility of football clubs the further you make it up the leagues. Ryan stated, "I think we recognise how lucky we are that we can be in this position where it isn't about making money or any of those things. I mean, you have to be in a pretty privileged spot to be able to do this to begin with. But eventually, you know, as we climb up the league, we're going to need outside help in order to sustain this club." None of this would have been possible without Ryan's mastery of business, marketing, and willingness to integrate his businesses with each other. On the surface, a phone carrier, alcohol brand, a software company, and a football club have nothing in common. Despite this, Ryan manages to make them work together in a way that feels natural, where you go, of course Wrexham would use one password, and not see any flaws in this logic. Of course, the glue holding all of this together is Ryan Reynolds himself, and his secret to this success is quite simple.
I wouldn't characterize myself as an entrepreneur. I would characterize myself as someone who has found a couple of different things in life that I believed in with every cell in my body, and this is one of them.
Thank you so much for watching this video, it really does mean a lot to me. Don't forget to click the link in the description to download Matchmasters and get a special starter pack for free.